Ready, set, heavy jet. Are you certified yet? Yeah, cheesy joke, I know. But hey, everybody, welcome back. Steve here yet again for another lesson. This time, the D side, or also known as Radar Associates, one of our first classes for the Radar Associate. We've translated some radar stuff, but now let's jump into the world of the D side, the manual controller, the Radar Associate, however you want to call it. This one's called D side for life. You know, you get down on one knee, ask your partner, will you be my D side for life? You know, a little joke there. But this is D2, not Mighty Ducks, no Emilio Estevez here. It's just your boy Steve, but it's the Rodney Dangerfield of D side. Can't get no respect. D2. We're going to be looking at a situation today in the St. Croix Bay. So join me as we dive right into some fundamental aspects. We're going to see some common occurrences that will take place not only in the lab environment, but also in the OJT environment when you make your way up to the floor. I'm pumped. I hope you're pumped. Got my Cargo Up shirt on now, repping some heavy Boeing at 747-800 freighters. And yeah, let's get this started. I will see you at the next slide. All right, my plane party people, we are back. We're sitting on position here. And since we don't have a full fidelity, strip bays and strip printer and keyboard in front of us, got the bare essentials, right? You have a St. Croix Bay header. You have some strips offset. This is under the pretense that you took the position just now. You sat down. You said you had the position. The 2-minute overlap is done. And now you're on your own. All is quiet. All is well. And we have a little bit of work to do, and this is wonderful. This will be a great practice for common occurrences that will occur in this sector. This will occur multiple times in the lab, I promise you that, and I promise you it will occur all the time on an afternoon D2 session. So let's just jump right into it. So as you see in the bottom, almost middle, we have the clock. It's frozen in time. It's 16:32:01 and counting. And you look into St. Croix Bay, and there's some work to be done. We have a sea breeze that's cleared out of Juliana, maintaining 10. Even though you got the briefing already, we'll just go over again. You have King Air 10930 is radar identified, and they're on their way to St. Croix from St. Kitts. That's nice. And look, you have some guys who are radar who need to be coordinated. The American 2405 landing VC Bird, Azuli 732 over Hillary, and American 2295 over Hillary. And in your lonely suspense bay, you have a BizJet, a 240 Quebec Sierra leaving Bird. So all is well. You have your inventory of what's going on. I will see you at the next slide for the bulleted list, and let's start formulating a plan, a course of action, how we're going to negotiate our way through this session. I will see you in the next slide. All right, so let's take an inventory of what we got going on. So quite a bit of work lies ahead, right? Well, you know that D2, there's always work, whether it's 6 a.m. in the morning, 4 a.m. in the morning, 7 o'clock at night, noon, 9:30 in the morning, any time of day. D2 is always bumping. There's always phones ringing. So take note of the time, right? We have the time reminding us there what needs to be done, because you can do this position without the radar. All you need to know is what time is it. The clock is your friend. You're going to hear that a lot. The clock dictates what the priorities will be, because if you've been studying your letters of agreement, you know what time things have to be coordinated. You cross-reference that with the clock, and you are able to determine what needs to be done. What strips are offset? Well, that was done for you whenever the person gave you the briefing. As you saw, we have a couple that are inside of our theoretical hour here. We'll take it strip by strip. No need to worry. This is an introductory class. This is an introductory situation, very fundamental in nature. So it's not like you need to just figure it out by yourself, even though I'm sure you can hypothesize what exactly needs to be done. We'll take it strip by strip and we'll go over it exactly. Keep in mind, who are you calling? What is their phone number? It's a great opportunity for noting your MIVA lines. What extensions are people on? Are they dial lines? Are they MIVAs? Are they e-cards? Are they shout lines? How do you get a hold of them? Do you know what buttons to press? Do you know your way around the ETBS? Maybe we'll do a class on that sometime. Find a phrase that fits, right? Don't get mic fright. This will be your first opportunity here, at least at San Juan, where you are using the phone, right? You're not quite over on the R side where you're using the radio yet, but you are using the telephone, and the telephone is your tool, right? And phraseology is your tool. It is the means to which you coordinate. So find a phrase that fit. Be quick yet thorough on the telephone line. Be prepared for somebody to call you as well. D2 is not a one-way street. It's not where you have this superfluous amount of time to call a whole bunch of people and get all your work done and sit back, relax, and put your hands up and say, look what I just did. Unfortunately, no, you are a person in demand as well, and they will be calling you. Most popular phone number in all of Puerto Rico has to be the D2 line. So with that being said, and that on our minds, let's jump into this. Let's get some work done. So I'll see you back again at the little sector we got going on. I'll see you there. Okay, so diving into 1632, so we had a little bit of time go by, yet again frozen in time, and we look at the strips and we're like, okay, what can I do? Can I be efficient with this operation? And two things should beam out at you right away. You have two estimates that need to go over Hillary with Piarco Center, and they're already at different altitudes. They are ready for coordination. So boom, let's combine calls and take care of these two, both Azodi 732 and American 2295. Let's start here, right? Perfect. So get your pen ready, your fake pen, get ready for what you think you're going to say, how you're going to say it when you dial Piarco. You don't want to have that stage fright, that pause whenever you dial a phone and you kind of like, no, let's be ready what to say and when to say it. So yeah, I believe we will see you at the next slide to take it strip by strip, flight by flight. I will see you there. Excellent. You're well on your way to becoming a great partner for the Dsideforlife. So let's call Piarco Center, also known as TTZP. That's what you'll see on the TVS. That's how they're addressed. Their MIBA line is 5001, 5002, or 5003. Very, very simple. Good to call on any of those. You have one both for the Sector 4, and you have one for Sectors 2 and 8. So just keep in mind that you will be fielding calls for the fixes you are responsible for. So I would recommend using the D2 and 8 line when you call Piarco. Are the strips ready for coordination? You know that the aircraft are on frequency. Now there's no time check around the times, but you can coordinate strip times. There's nothing that's going to preclude you from doing that. Have your pen ready. You got your red side ready? That's right. We're coordinating, so we know that coordination is done in red in the en route environment. Are the strips ready for coordination? Well, we kind of answered that in the on the last statement. And well, without further ado, get on your ETVS and dial up Piarco, and let's get some work done. I'll see you there. All right, so here we are. We have American 2295. We're focused in on this particular strip, this particular flight. Our headset is plugged in. We just dialed in 5001 on the ETVS, and we are met with a ring, ring, ring. Very good. Piarco Center is what you hear the recipient of your call, and boom, great interphone format with SAM1 Center, Hillary Estimate, American 2295. Well put. You said who you are and what you want, or what you need from them, right? American 2295, Hillary time and level is something in the ballpark of what you'll hear from the Piarco controller. And here you go. You get your pen ready. You got my pen ready, American 2295. Estimate Hillary at 1704 at flight level 350, squawk 4455. As you notice, I did not circle the altitude. We'll circle when we hear the golden words of approve. So we're not quite there yet. And the Piarco controller is going to think, he's going to look at their particular, he or she's going to look at their particular traffic situation and go American 2295, area 1704, flight level 350 approved. And there you go. As soon as you hear approved, you circle it. You're going to put the strip from it being offset, punch it back into place, give your initials, and boom, you're done. But before even the inkling of giving your operating initials, you want to say, hold up, I have one more. Say one more, because we have that Azul hanging out, right? We have the Hillary. Let's be efficient with this phone call. Let's combine transmissions, even though technically you're not really transmitting anything, you're on the phone, but let's combine coordination calls. So tell them, hold the phone, quite literally, and I got one more for you. So I'll see you on the next slide for the Azul 8732. Perfect. So you just keep the conversation going. No pausations, no apprehensions. Keep the natural flow of events going, because Piarco Center, they have things to do too. They deal with foreign facilities as well. They deal with New York Center. They have a whole bunch of centers down to the south of them. They own a lot of oceanic airspace. They have a weird staffing configuration. So they will hang up on you if they think you're done. So boom, right into it. As already 732 at Hillary. Time and level. They'll be brief this time, right? They are in the ballpark, right? I tried to give an example of things that you will often say. Sometimes you won't get a full readback, as always 732, Hillary time, level, and squawk. Now, sometimes you'll just get a very basic rudimentary response. And there it is. There's your cue to go. You have your pen ready, your red pen ready, and say Azori 732. Hillary at 1713. Flight level 370, squawk 5612. Talk and write. You're going to be encouraged to talk and write, right? We know we truly never multitask, but it is the best thing to get done, right? You're talking, you're examining, you're reading what you're writing. It is making critical sense, right? You are critically thinking. This is not going through the motions. This is not repetition. You are not a robot. You are actually coordinating something in live and being totally aware of what you're doing, the actions of your words, right? And so put our pen back in place here, wait for the response, and here we go, SOA 732, flight level 370 approved, right? They won't read the whole back. They have another call to make. They weren't anticipating you saying, hey, I had two for you, and that's something that we can address, but here you go. You circle the altitude, punch that strip right back in place, and boom, you have just completed two coordinations with Piarca Center. And the bay is looking healthy now because you have two things less to do. So just remind yourself that you will hear a varying level of responses, not only on the initial call, but on the response to your coordination request as well. Just remember, always terminate with your operating initials. Always try to be perfect in your phraseology. Find the phrase that fits. Be brief yet thorough, and you'll find yourself being very successful in navigating your way through multiple coordinations. And as you know, we have a lot of traffic that transitions our airspace into Piarco, so you'll get plenty of practice. You'll get plenty of practice downstairs in the lab. You'll get plenty of practice, obviously, in the OJT environment. So, yeah, so let us keep chomping away. Let's keep digging our way out of things to do. And I will see you at the next slide. So far, so good. Good job. Boom, fun recap, right? Nice job with that, okay? Good job with those two Piarco guys, right? Very simple. We learned how to prioritize. We learned how to combine calls. We learned how to talk and write, right? We learned to wait for the approval, right? We learned to make sure that our readbacks are correct. And now we move on. So let's add some complexity now with a call from VC Bird, the Beer Cornwall Bird approach control, right? TAPA is their identifier. Common situation where you as a DSI will ensure positive separation. This is less of a radar associated thing, and now you're putting on your manual controller hat, your non-radar hat, right? So keep in mind you're going to prepare yourself for they're calling you, so you know they have something for you, right? So just be mentally prepared to say, hey, you know what, I might have to think this one through, and that's your job. You are the D side is unique in this regard because you have the picture about anywhere from 15 to an hour away, an hour out, till it hits the sector. So actually, you are projecting the most out of any position. Maybe the A side as well. You can make an argument there. But do we have something to give them, right? I think we have somebody hanging out that wants to go to VC Bird. So if so, let's pre-plan. I believe it's American 2405. So let's get at it. I'll see you on the next screen or on the next slide because, as you know, we're taking aircraft by aircraft. So let's take a look at what needs to be done with American 2405. I will see you there. All right, hello again, and we're back at the mini sector here. I know that the little window that I'm in is covered up the clock, but the clock has just gone up a couple minutes from our last call with Piarco. And look, our last offset person, or flight in this case, is American 2405. It's one of our last things to do, and we know that Bird is calling. So let's just pretend that we did not have this long-winded discussion between the end of the Piarco call and now, and you just simply hung up the line. You saw Bird was calling, right? So you moved on to your last and final step, what it looks like in this sector anyways, and you offset it. So that's what the reality is. Everybody else is in line. I know it's a PowerPoint, so you see how it's just a little offset to the offset. There's no real depth to it, but you can imagine it's cocked out and stuff like that. So, okay, let's take it strip by strip. I'll see you at American 2405. All right, perfect. So we have American 2405 strip. We have it offset out to the side. And in our main focus here, right, we have the viewfinder on. We're looking at American 2405. Strip marking looks good. And we have our red pen at the ready. And sure enough, we have to pre-plan, right? So this is very simple. Like I said, even though the phone line is ringing and it seems like a long-winded kind of step-by-step process moving from the Piarco stuff to pre-planning this trip and then actually taking the call from VC Bird, in reality, this will actually be less than 5 minutes. You'll get so good eventually, you will get to be a boss at this, where these um, situations, these scenarios, you negotiate them within like 3 minutes, right? You say, yeah, you coordinate American and Azul, and you come back to this American, you're going to pre-plan the heck out of it. You're going to take whatever bird has for you over whatever fix, and you'll be done, and you'll be cruising on to doing something else in the sector. Because D2, especially when you're training on D2, there's always something for you to do. You are training with a purpose, and for however long you're there, an hour, hour 15, even 45 minutes, rest assured you're going to be busy. So let's pre-plan this real quick. So Elopo 1701, the aircraft's at 35. Just for fun, I am just going to write a simple 210, right altitude for direction of flight. Gonna slash my 0 there, and that's it. It's gonna be 21. Just pre-planning on 21. I know that bird's calling me, so I want to make sure that even if it's over Gabar, if it's over Elopo, I'm leaving some room to have a departure outbound, right? A respectable altitude out of BC bird. And so 21 is my go-to altitude. It's my go-to altitude when I'm sitting on the position myself. And this is just a technique. You know, you should know the stratum of BC birds in airspace by now, and you should know what altitude the lowest you can go to over Elopo, right? There's a tricky area there because a lot of facilities share a common boundary there. We have Juliana, Bird, and Piarco all have a little trifecta there. So, but 21's my go-to. So we just prepared to strip for coordination, right? We're ready to take this phone call, and we know whatever bird is going to have for us, we'll be able to also give them this, whether we give it to them first or wait till they're done and we give it to them after they're done. So I will see you at the sector setup on the next slide. All right. All right. So welcome back. The strip is ready for coordination. It's offset. You have your double-ended pen facing red towards the bay, and you're ready to pick up the phone line and get this coordination done. So what I'm about to tell you is my personal technique, what I use whenever I am dealing with BC Bird and I have an estimate and I'm answering a call from them. My mindset is that I'm answering a call from them knowing they have something for me, whether it be over Elopo or Gabar, and I have something for them, in this case over Elopo. Why I do this? Well, just bear in mind it is my technique. I would like you to do whatever your trainer and your training team tells you to do. But here's my rationale and logic behind it. I have American 2405 and I'm pre-planning 21 over Elopo. If I can get that out of the way first with VC Bird and let them know that, hey, 1701 at 21, that kind of sets the stage for whatever I can approve outbound over Elopo, right? We know we have to go vertical separation, right? That's the most efficient non-radar separation we can ensure is the D side. So knowing that we have traffic for them at Elopo at that particular time at 21, they know to expect something below that. Because more often than not, they will try to coordinate something or an aircraft. They'll try to coordinate an aircraft from the level, from ground level, all the way up to their requested altitude. But now this kind of sets and gives them the picture like, hey, I got this guy over Elopo at 21. So you can anticipate that there's going to be an intermit altitude be assigned, right, a temporary altitude. So I find that to be useful. And I also find that BC Bird is more than happy to oblige this technique because it kind of sets what their expectations will be for the aircraft departing head on. So take it or leave it. Like I said, do what your trainer wants you to do. And with that being in mind, let's get down to it. No more talking and let's start doing. So here we go. The line rings and here we are. We reply with Sam 1 Center. Who are we? They reply, who are they? BC Bird Estimate November 240 Quebec Sierra. Good. We have that in the back of our mind, but we're going to try to negotiate this. Sneak it in there. November 240 Quebec Sierra. Stand by. I have one for you over Elopo as well. American 2405. That is the point where they're going to oblige you, say, hey, okay, I'm going to take this inbound because guess what? They're probably going to stop November 0 Quebec Sierra at something lower. So get your red pen ready, and here we go. American 2405, Elopo time and level. Good. They are going to take this estimate before they give us their estimate. American 2405, Elopo at 1701, flight level 210, squawk 2754. Sometimes they do want the squawk. And they're going to hit you back with a American 2405, Elopo at 1701, flight level 210, approved. Wonderful. Approved? Good. Now everybody's in the know. We know that this aircraft is approved at 21 going in, and whatever comes out, in this case November 0 Quebec Sierra, is going to have to be stopped at some lower intermit altitude. So boom, and here we are. We get back to being the courteous flight level 210 approved. Go ahead. November 240 Quebec Sierra, ELOPO time and level. Good. The stage is now set for us to use some positive non-radar vertical separation for this November 0 Quebec Sierra, and I'll see you at the next slide, and it's about to get fun. So, all right, see you there. All right, so as promised, we take it one strip at a time. November 240 Quebec Sierra, Challenger 60, Bird over Elopo, and we look at the route of flight, very simple flight, east to west bound flight, Elopo Lima 577, Antex Blue 520 Calcedo, landing Las Americas. So the route of flight looks good. And that's it. You do a once over. You look to make sure this flight plan complies with SOP routing, LOA routing. Is it a good route? Are there airways closed today? All these things should be going through your head whenever you take the strip and you take it out of the proposal bay and you put it into the active bay. These things should be going through your head. It's a great exercise. It's a great mental exercise to say, hey, are all these things good? Do I know where I'm sending this airplane? Is this route of flight good? And that will help you out. So good. We are going to go back to the sector level and show you where we're going to put it in at the next slide, where it'll be in time sequence and a little bit more clear. So I will see you there. Okay, so welcome back. Here we are back at the sector level here on the PowerPoint, and let's pick up right where we left off. Bird, we are ready to take the estimate for Bird, so we take it out of suspense bay, put it in the active bay, get our black-sided pen ready, right, the black side of our double ender, and here we are. Lopo at 1655, request climbing, flight level 360 is what Bird said, right? We were ready for time and level, and here we go. As we hear that, we are listening, but we are writing as well. We type in the 1655, we write in the climb in the 360, right? That's what was said, that's what's requested. And we hit back with an Elopo 1655 standby. Standby not only because knowing we have traffic now, but when you start training, both in the lab and when you reach the floor in the OJT environment, you're going to need a little time to adjust yourself to see what exactly is going on. Have an idea of what's going on in the sector, non-radar, which is even quite a conceptual feat, really, because at least the radar you see moving targets and stuff like, hey, here you have a clock and some strips and a route of flight, and you are going to, that's how you make your money when you're a D side. So we're going to think through this. We're thinking of already that we're going to have to stop aircraft vertically, use some vertical separation, right? Vertical separation is a great non-radar separation technique. So let's keep talking. Let's keep this flow going until the next slide, and I will see you there. All right, good. Don't get overzealous. Don't get too hasty, and just slow yourself down, right? You are devoting this particular phone call to this particular aircraft to this particular facility, right? Try not to think what's too far ahead. Be in and of the moment, right? Get it done right the first time, and you won't have to do it, and you'll be able to address a whole bunch of other phone calls that might be ringing and other duties, right? That's the nature of D2. It's going to be very hard when you first start out to concentrate on in and of the moment on what aircraft you're coordinating at once because there's so many things to be done. But if you do it right the first time and that satisfaction of flattening the ticket or activating it and knowing you protected for potential conflicts and you won't have to see to it again. It's a very satisfying feeling and it's a way you build up your fundamentals. So here we go. Slow yourself down. Put the ticket in time sequence. Put the strip in time sequence. It seems like they are tricking you, right? Bird's asking for 36. You know that aircraft's not going to get 36. Even they know it. But like I said, keep a level head, cooler heads prevail. Look at what you have inbound. Is there head-on traffic? Go vertical, right? We know that, right? So American 2405, we know is crossing Elopo at 1701, sometime around there. And this aircraft wants to be out at 1655. We need to protect non-radar on both sides of Elopo. So we're going to go vertical. So keep in mind, what is the maximum altitude you can improve while following, respecting airspace and trying to be correct for the direction of flight. So let's go back to this sector real quick, knowing these couple bullet points in mind. So I'll see you there. All right, so here we are, and we put the strip, as you see, we just put it in time sequence there. Things are a little bit more clear now, right? We have a little bit of a concept of what exactly is going on, right, with the 240 Quebec Sierra. And look, the aircraft is just below American 2405, and with the Alopo time 1655 and 1701, if you think about it, where those aircraft are, where they're coming from, where they're going, this is as clear as it will get in the strip in the non-radar environment that hey, you got a conflict here, so you are going to have to do some kind of action. This aircraft cannot get climbing the 36. So here it is. Elopo 1655, climb to flight level 200 is approved. Reference American 2405 inbound over Elopo, right? One, you have done a good job of stopping the aircraft vertically 1,000 feet below American's assigned altitude, and you even, just in case if there was some kind of controller briefing on VC Bird's end, or if the controller is new, or maybe they're training themselves, you are referencing traffic. You are making sure that there is no ambiguous situation as to why you're only proving 20, right? You are just reinforcing what is blatantly obvious to you and just making it clear to them, right? Why you're doing the action that you are. So you cross out what the request was, cross out all of that, and you write in the new altitude, right? Climbing the 200 is approved, right? Easy as that. You stopped 1,000 feet below. Truly simple. It may seem a little challenging now, and it will be challenging as you make your way through, but this is not bad. And they should read back, climb to flight level 200 is approved. And that's it. You end with your operating initials, and really, good job. That is a situation that many people dread, people do not look forward to, people hope that they avoid, they hope there's no traffic, especially head-on traffic over Elopo, and they go through working D2 session after D2 session hoping this doesn't happen. But that's okay, this is nothing to fear. This is a perfectly reasonable situation that you can solve just knowing where the aircraft is, visualizing in space and time. Even though you can't look at the radar and look at moving pictures, the clock is your friend, and it's very much an illustrative ally here in this particular situation. So, good job. And I think we're going to spice things up here with some more complexity in the next slide. So just stay tuned, and I'll see you at the next slide. All right, Decide for Life, man. You're well on your way to just establishing yourself as a great partner for your R site. So nice job with that. The old pat on the back always helps. So like I said, let's add some more complexity to the mix. VC Bird says, hey, San Juan. And that's what you should dread because you know they got something else for you. You say, hold the line, San Juan, I have something else for you. Oh boy. Okay, so don't fear. Let's go to the next slide and see what exactly they have in store for us. I'll see you there. All right, we're sitting here oh so leisurely. We got the activated ticket from 240 Quebec Sierra and we put it in time sequence. It's looking great, look all properly printed and properly strip marked with our intermediate altitude assigned there, 200. Americans down there. And look, we just got a D2 suspense ticket. And sure enough, Bird's going to be like Leot 551 at Alopo, the old St. Thomas runner. It might be Leot 550, I'm not sure, but I think it's 551 at some point in time. And Leot 551 Elopo time and level. Estimating Elopo 1702, climbing to flight level 220. Oh man, they went climbing again and climbing to 22. Even still knowing that American 2405 is out there crossing at 21, let alone we have traffic that we stopped at 20 and we don't have the in-trail separation. So yet again, here we go. Do not panic. How can we have two aircraft simultaneously climbing out of VC Bird's airspace, entering our airspace, non-radar, and positively separated? Well, that's why you're here, right? We're gonna teach you, and it's not too bad. You just have to think of things logically, think of things as a step-by-step process, and you are on your way to approving not only two, but three or even four aircraft at a time, just using this technique. And it's all non-radar. It's all about altitude. It's all about positive separation. So hang in there, and we're going to get through this together. I'll see you at the next slide. Okay, so here we are. We put the aircraft flight progress strip there in semi-time sequence. Actually, it isn't perfectly in time sequence. We write our 1702, and we still write what they want, climbing the 220, even though in this case they're probably not going to get it. Actually, we know they're not going to get it, right? So we still write it anyway. So good. So the scene is set up. 1702 climbing at 220. Let's go to a bulleted list, take a little bit of inventory of what we got going on, and let's negotiate our way through this scenario. Okay, so we're working overtime with this complex situation, right? 2 departures over bird, and now we can figure it out, right? So our response will be, here we go, hear me out. Reference 240 Quebec Sierra, cross Elopo at and maintain flight level 200. Perfect, right? So what did we just do? We assigned that Challenger, 240 Quebec Sierra, to cross Elopo level of 20. No longer climbing. As you see, we X'd out the arrow. We put an X, Elopo, referring to the fix we want to cross at, 200 with a T there. T has always been there, but we know it's only temporary, intermittent altitude. So good. So what does that mean? That means that 0 Quebec Sierra is going to cross Elopo level, flight level 200. No climbing. We just narrowed down a point in space where that aircraft is going to be. They're going to be at Elopo and they're going to be level at 200. So we leveled, or we narrowed it down. They're going to be at 200 at Elopo at that time. So they are occupying a very little modicum of space and time in this whole operation. So what happens? That frees up a whole bunch of altitudes to give Liat 551 and ATR something to work with. So we hit them back with Liat 551, Elopo at 1702, climbing to flight level 180 is approved. Sure enough, we write that there, and now Liat is climbing, right? We just turn the tables. We force the Challenger up to 20 temporarily, reference American at 21, as you see down there. And now we write in 1702, and we stop the aircraft, in this case, 2,000 feet below, flight level 180 being not only usable, but being the correct altitude for direction of flight. Perfect. You solved it. It's wonderful. It's absolutely perfect. You could have given 19 and it would have been even better, right? You would have given me 1,000 more feet. But 18 is perfectly reasonable and a perfect way to negotiate your way through this situation. And even though we won't cover it on this PowerPoint, what happens if there was a third guy? Well, guess what? All you have to do is know that a ATR can be at flight level 180 prior to Elopo, and you just make that aircraft level. And then that frees up flight level 160, 170 level, right? The beauty is climbing works when you're only dealing with one aircraft. They can occupy all kind of airspace and they can have all kind of time to climb, pilot's discretion. But when you have multiple aircraft and you're talking non-radar, you need some restrictions. You need to start restricting aircraft. That's where aircraft characteristics comes in handy. So I think you guys did a perfect job with everything there. And look, we move on, slide to strip right in place, climbing to 18. It's in time sequence again. And look, a flat bay is a happy bay. No more suspense. You have successfully negotiated 2 estimates PR code combining transmissions, approved 2 VC bird inbounds using positive separation, using non-radar separation as the non-radar controller. Great job. And you also gave VC bird an estimate as well. So great job. I hope you have gotten something out of this. And I know it seems long-winded. And like I said, all of this is going to take place within the confines of maybe 5 to 7 at 10 minutes the most. So you did a great job, and we'll see you on the next slide. All right. Let there be light, right? The light bulb went off, not only metaphorically for here in San Juan with daylight savings time, but also with you as you executed this D2 situation rather perfectly. So look at all these smug guys, crossed arms. You got their approval. And look at you right there. You're Duke Nukem. You're the Duke Nukem of D2. And damn, you're good. So I hope you learned a little something today. I hope you take away some of the tools that you can now put in your toolbox and have at your disposal as you navigate your way through the stage training, and then whenever you come upstairs and deal with this in the real world. I promise you this situation will be frequent in the D-Side class and every day you sit down to train on D2 and every day that you are a CPC on D2. It's nothing to be afraid of. Just remember your non-radar rules. Remember crossing restrictions are your friend, and just remember find an altitude for these airplanes. And remember, as a D-Side, separation, and just always remember some other fundamental aspects too. Where are you sending the aircraft? Are the strips ready for coordination? What are your priorities? What needs to be done? And you'll find yourself just excelling through D-Side stage and OJT training. So Steve here, remember, Keep your separation just like your attitude. Stay positive and have a great day. And we'll see you at the next presentation. Have a good day, guys.